Good afternoon, family and friends, esteemed faculty, alumni award winners, Mr. Bradley, Dean Noria, and of course, this amazing class of 2017. I am Libby Hoaglin from the incredible, inimitable, incomparable Section I.
And I'm LaToya Marc from, more simply put, the greatest section, Section G. And we are so proud to have served as your class presidents over this last year.
We are sitting on the lawn of Baker Library this afternoon, and this is the closest that many of our classmates have ever come to the library. So for those of you for whom this is true, welcome.
Before we begin, we would like to recognize everyone who traveled here to be with us today. Our spouses and partners, family and friends whose love, support, and encouragement helped make today a reality. So we invite you to all stand, please, with us right now so that we can celebrate you with a round of applause.
And so here we are on this beautiful Boston day. Not a single puffy jacket in sight. And standing here on the lawn of Baker Library, we are reminded of the things that make Harvard Business School so very special. The bonds of our community, the power of inclusivity, the strength of individual voice, and that special feeling that comes with being cold called by a professor in your 8:30 a.m. class.
Being here also reminds us that after 2 years, we were supposed to have figured out the answer to that question. You know the one. What will you do with your one wild and precious life? Now, whether for you that answer begins by returning to something that you know and love, or maybe more like me, you're anxiously excited to try something new and thankful for a supportive and very patient husband. Regardless of where you are, graduating from Harvard Business School gives each of us a platform to make a real impact in the world. To whom much is given, much will be required. An old Sunday school cliche that I thank my mom and my dad for raising me to believe as a way of life, and something that I hope we will cherish today. That as we celebrate, we recognize the privilege we had to sit in these classrooms, partake in these amazing global experiences, and build lasting friendships. The truth is that no matter where we started, today and right now, we are all incredibly blessed.
Incredibly blessed, and also incredibly lucky. Our professors and alums have reminded us time and time again of the importance of acknowledging this luck. And while it goes without saying that it took real effort and determination to make it to this day, it is worth acknowledging the role that luck has played in all of our lives, even in some small way. Because there are probably many people who deserved to be with us at Harvard Business School over the last 2 years, sitting in these very seats today. But for whatever reason, they just weren't as lucky. Remember this luck when you go out into the world. Remember how lucky we have been to have the opportunity to learn here together for the last 2 years. Remember, when you can, to make luck for someone else. And remember the people that you were lucky enough to have on your side, the ones who may have even made a little bit of luck for you. For me, this is my mom and my dad who encouraged me to believe in myself despite persistent self-doubt, a hiring manager who took a chance on me with no experience in the tech industry and offered me a job, and later, a mentor who reminded me every day to lean into it, and a husband who luckily swiped right on my profile on Tinder. For every opportunity that we have had here, and all of those yet to come, we borrow from the wise words of second-year professor Young Mi Moon. Be grateful. Be humble. Be grateful. Be humble. As we stand here today, we are so grateful for the chance to serve as your class presidents over the last year. And as we stand here today, we are humbled by the opportunity to have made up this team of 2 women co-presidents, a first in the history of Harvard Business School. We are especially humbled by this opportunity to lead and to serve at a time when the role of and expectations for women in our society have been continually called into question. The changing role of anybody who in some way deviates from the norm. Anybody who has ever known what it is like to be an O in a room filled with X's.
So we will soon leave our beloved HBS bubble to re-enter a world that is divided. And as I reflect, I realize that on campus we haven't always all agreed. But what I do believe is that we have pushed past our biases, humbly seeking to understand each other's differences and rallying as grateful, supportive allies during hard times. Like when many of us from many different racial backgrounds joined the African American Student Union and Dean Noria right here on the steps of Baker for a Black Lives Matter demonstration that, for me, I especially still cherish as I look out on the lawn and see my son, my little brother, and my younger sister, who's actually the same age as the late Richard Collins III, who lost his life last week, days before his own college graduation. I'm also reminded of the time that our campus came together after the election, with conservatives, liberals, and those in between, coming together to reflect about how we can help our country, our world move forward. And for me, that was a catalyst into more conversations with my classmates that illuminated nuances about what our country is going through and enabled me to empathize even in disagreement. So as we prepare to enter back into the real world, let's continue to be aware of these biases, suspending judgment as we encounter new colleagues, employees, customers and neighbors, anyone who doesn't look like us or share our Harvard pedigree. With our HBS degree comes a great deal of prestige, influence, and power. People will respect us. They will listen to us, and they will expect great things from this Harvard MBA. But activist James Baldwin reminds us and warns us that ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy that justice can have. Ignorance with power is an enemy to justice. So let's keep the learning going, educating ourselves before we make big decisions, because the truth is that our decisions will someday create ripple effects for communities for generations to come. Let's make sure we understand the negative externalities and spread them equally. No one community or class of people should suffer so that another can prosper. We have worked incredibly hard to be here today, and this is an amazing time to celebrate. And as we celebrate, we also accept a great responsibility. A responsibility not only to our shareholders, but also to our stakeholders. And as we take on this responsibility, let us operate with gratitude and humility. Be grateful, be humble.
HBS defines making a difference as creating real value for society. Creating value before claiming it. But making a difference will take time. It will take energy and sacrifice. And while you are on the wild and precious journey to making a difference, it will undoubtedly feel long, and the individual days may feel even longer. And on one of those days, you might find yourself looking back on this experience, perhaps staring pensively out a window, the thing that every great HBS case protagonist does. And you might even be asking where to start. Poet Mary Oliver reminds us that though the road might be long, one day we will get to where we are going. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began. It's time. Let's begin. To our classmates, our friends, good luck.
Congratulations, class of 2017. Be grateful, be humble.
Thank you.
Thank you.